Hello and welcome, and thank you very much for joining me again in the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. So I was asked to paint some sort of sunset, deserty type of scene, so that's what we're going to do today.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
So let's have a quick look at the palette. As you can see, I've got the customary yellow and red. That's a cadmium red, cadmium yellow. I got a little bit of hooker's green. I've got some burnt umber, some black and some white. That's it. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. And I'm just going to draw myself a very quick horizon line on the canvas just for my own sake. Now, as you can see, I've pre-gessoed the canvas with some gesso. This is a homemade gesso. This is homemade gesso. If you want to know how I made this, click the iCards and you should come up to a short video. A short video is 1 minute long, and I'm going to do some quick tips on it, trying to save you some money and giving you ideas of what you can do. So I made this as a very quick gesso recipe. That was the idea behind that. So Molly's in the garden and barking away this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna, as I paint this, I'm gonna get some titanium white. I'm gonna just get a little bit of yellow, just the smallest bit of yellow, just to tint that up, just like that. I'm gonna put a little bit of a glow in the sky, just like a sun. There we go. Just like a sun. I'm just gonna darken that a little bit just for the camera's sake, because we can lighten it later. Now, I want to talk a little bit today about technology. I was very, very impressed the other day with my grandson. He had an Oculus Quest VR headset, virtual reality headset. And we had some fun over Christmas because, I'm just going to go over that, is easier. We had some fun over Christmas because we were trying to walk the plank and fall all over the place, and I was getting a bit disorientated, to say the least, with it. And I thought, this is a fantastic type of thing. And he uses it as well now, not just to play games, but he browses the internet and learns all these things. It's basically like a virtual reality computer then, is basically all it is. And I thought, that's a brilliant idea. And so I went on there and I found this program called Vermilion, and it's a painting application. There's a couple of different painting applications on there. Don't get me wrong, I'm just adding a little bit of white just to get a little bit of brightness into this area. As you know, I'm an artist and I love painting. So I thought, I'm going to try that out. So I've actually gone ahead now and purchased. I shouldn't have put white to that, actually. Well, I made that a bit peachy, which I didn't want. So I'll wash the brush out. Many, many years ago, when I was about 15, 16 years old, my father bought me this game that would plug in the back of the TV set. I'm just checking my cameras, making sure everything's okay. And it was ping pong. And it was just a screen like that, and this thing was going up and down like this, and then you had this little square as a ball would go like that. And I was absolutely amazed by that, because never experienced anything like that. At that time, it was all new. It was a fantastic thing to experience, and unlike the internet and stuff that the children have today, you know, it's just second nature for them to have all this technology. But it wasn't so much in them days. It was new, and I'm dyslexic anyway, and I fell in love with technology because unable to do mental arithmetic or anything like that in my mind, I was using calculators and on all these different things. This is before you could use calculators in school. I've just found out recently that children can use calculators even in exams these days, which absolutely baffles me, because when I think back how I struggled being dyslexic, with just the ability to do my times tables and things, which even now I can't do mentally. I'm okay writing things down and that, as if you followed me around on my channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because I mentioned that I'm dyslexic in the past. But anyway, we shouldn't let things like that affect us, not in this day and age. So the ability to be able to have an application like this painting application at my fingertips it just absolutely blew my mind, because I've got a friend that's bedridden, and she has wanted to paint oil paintings for years, and she's watched the Bob Ross TV series, and she's wanting to do this, and the way she is, she can't do that type of thing. And because I find that art is very healing as well. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get this headset, this VR headset thing, and give it a try. See exactly what it's all about. Is it the same as painting in physical life? No, it's not, and I'm not going to lie to you. But it is as accurate as I could possibly ever want it to be and imagine it to be. And I've shown this to my friend, and I have never seen somebody smile so much in my life. And to be in a situation where you can't get out of that room or that bed or whatever, and have the ability to travel the world, see all these sights in a virtual reality, is absolutely amazing. Just the joy on her face, it was just wondrous, to be honest with you. And I wanted to bring that ability into my channel, and I'm going to try and show you what I mean on a future video, which won't be on a Monday. It'll be most probably during the week, because I don't want it to impinge on my weekly acrylic painting lessons. But what I want to be able to do is incorporate that into the world of artwork that I do, because even digital art can sell for millions and millions of pounds, which is something I only recently found out about. And I was amazed with that, because I thought, how can you sell a digital piece of artwork? But there are people out there that want these digital pieces of artwork, and it's just amazing. I know I'm going on about it, but it is absolutely just absolutely amazing to have that ability. And you can print these things out onto canvas. So basically the world's your oyster as far as that's concerned. Or you can just paint for fun, like I do. I do a lot of painting. A lot of my paintings I just throw away and destroy. I get great pleasure into making lessons for yourselves to experience what I experience on a daily and even weekly basis, with something like this. And so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna introduce you to that over the coming weeks. If that's something you're interested in or you'd like to know more about, then let me know in the comments, and we will proceed. If there's anything you want me to try and paint in virtual reality, then obviously let me know in the comments also. So I'm excited, to be honest with you. I'm very, 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 very excited with that prospect that we have, to be able to venture in the world of virtual reality, basically. So going back to the painting now, I'm just going to try and lighten up this area there like this. So we've put the sky in. I'm just going to play around and try and get some sort of landscape going on. I want this a little bit lighter around this area, but I'm keeping that orangey flavour. And it would be fun if I tried to paint this, wouldn't it? In virtual reality, I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun. Something we could certainly look into if this works out okay. Right, I'm just going to check my cameras, making sure everything is working. So I've checked the camera, seem to be working okay. Let's get a little short flat now. Let's get a little bit of white paint, and let's put our sun back in. Let's put our sun back in there. And don't forget about those shorts that I mentioned, the short videos, 1 minute videos. 1 minute videos. Some of them are speed paintings. Some of them show tips. The tip ones are good. The tip ones, you will learn a lot by them, and you can save yourself so much money as well. I want to get that a little bit brighter, actually. Nice hot sun. Put a little bit of yellow in it in a second. Okay, let's get some burnt umber. I put a little bit of white to it. Just put a little bit of white to it. Let's lighten it down. Get a little bit of red. That's a bit too pink. That's actually quite a nice pink that I've made there. Sometimes you come up with some colours and you think that's actually not a bad flesh tone. That's actually not a bad flesh tone, look. I'm quite impressed. I can play around with that. Put a little bit of red in that, bit more red, a little bit of green maybe, that type of thing. But that's quite a nice, I've come up with a new colour. Anyway, so what was I doing? Get a little bit of burnt umber. There we go. And a little bit of white. I won't put any red in it this time. But a bit of white. There we are. It was the red and the white that went pink, by the way. What if we put a bit of yellow to it then? Will that make it go the colour I want it to? Yes, it does. It goes a little bit greeny. It's got that greeny tinge to it, but that's quite a nice colour. I quite like that. Actually, that would make another good skin tone look. For a darker skin type. There, so yeah. So we when you play with things like this, you find things by accident, and it's very important that we just play sometimes and have fun and experiment and things like that. I'm just trying to put in a few. No, I've never been to a desert like this in my life. I don't know what I'm painting. I'm just coming up with some sort of a rock shape. I've played a lot of, talking about technology, I've played a lot of games over the years. I've been very, very lucky to be able to get up with technology, and I love games and PlayStations and things like that, and I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption and stuff. So maybe these things exist in my brain and I don't really know they're there. They look more like buildings and rocks, but we will get there. I'm just going to wash that brush. Get a little bit of red. And just burnt umber this time. There's a little bit of red and burnt umber. Maybe just a touch of yellow to that. Red and burnt umber. Touch of yellow. That's a lovely colour too. I quite like that colour actually. Yeah. These rocks are slightly bigger, a little bit warmer, and more in front. Just like that. Let's get a little bit of black. some shadows in. Get this down. Just like that. A little bit of shadow there. So we've got that, those rocks behind. Maybe we can put a little bit of touch of black just like that maybe. What else can we do? Let's just wash that brush. I'm very happy to and excited about this ability to be able to do virtual reality paintings. You might think I'm mad, actually. You might think I'm mad to even think about that, but I want to get a little bit of white there. But I think the ability to be able to learn in all different aspects of art, digital art is becoming a very big thing. Virtual reality is becoming a very big thing in industry and stuff like that. A lot of designers and graphic designers and even people that make cars and things like this, engineers, are all using some form of virtual reality these days, because it's a lot easier when you see these things on TV and Star Trek and stuff like this, and you see them with all these computer boards and they can make things bigger and small and they can move this to there, and you know, a bit like who was I thinking of then? A bit like what's his name? He flies through the sky with the greatest of ease. Iron Man, that's who I was thinking of. Iron Man, yes. You see the way he designs all these things and that type of stuff, and these Marvel programs, these films. And there's technology for you. We can't hold back technology. Technology will be there. It'll always be there, and it'll take over eventually. But unfortunately, you know, these things happen, progress and all that. We have to embrace it, I think, to understand it as well. To be able to understand something, we need to embrace the ability to do stuff. Now, I'm 60 years old. I've always loved computers and technology and mobile phones, iPads. I had one of the first ever iPads that come out, and I've still got it. In fact, I took it to an Apple shop last year, or was it the year before? It was before COVID. I took it back to Apple because I was having difficulties with it, and the girl looked at it and she went, "This should be in a museum, Mr. Powell." She said, "I've never seen one of these before." She said, "This is very rare now." And I didn't think nothing of it, because, you know, it's just one of them things. And I thought, well, I never throw anything out, so maybe it's a good thing. So we're trying to get a little bit of depth going in. I should maybe do a bit more there. Maybe I should bring in another. And what can I put there? I don't want it too big, but maybe we could put in maybe another rock formation, something like that. A little bit of black maybe now. Maybe there's more rocks in front. These things grow, so be careful. Be very careful when you do stuff like this, because things can be overpainted quite quickly. And We need to get a little bit of yellow light. Let's glint in on these rocks like that, maybe. That's one thing you can't do with digital art, is wipe your brush on your trousers and have a lovely pattern of... I've got a lovely pattern on my trousers. Let me see if I can show you. Can you see my jeans? So this is where I wipe my brush. I'm thinking of getting my jeans and filling them with full of concrete, and I'm taking them to the Tate Gallery and see if I can win first prize. Stranger things have happened, they said. Stranger things have happened. So yeah, I could get a big brush and block this in, and I thought, why not? Just take your time, enjoy the painting process. That's what painting is all about sometimes, is just having fun and enjoying the painting process. So let's get a bit more yellow down there, like that. Let's blend that in now. We'll put a highlight on this in a second. I just want to get a bit of yellow. Bit of that sky colour is just reflecting onto the rocks and stuff and things. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along, really. And that's what you should do. Enjoy painting. Just have fun. Just enjoy painting. Just have fun. Just paint because you want to paint, and not because you want to sell it or you have to prove yourself to anybody. The only person you have to prove things to is yourself. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. There we are. So we got a bit of... got something going on there, I think. So I'm going to dry that off very quickly with a hairdryer, and we'll see where we can go from there. Before we proceed, I'm just going to clean my teeth. No, I'm not really. I've got a toothbrush. I'm just going to moisten that in a little bit of water like that. I want to get some, maybe burnt umber, a bit of white. I'm just going to sprinkle in. This is something you can't do on the... This is something you can't do with virtual reality, by the way. I've tried. I'm just going to put some little tiny bits of gravel in like that. That's the quickest way I can find of putting the bits of gravel in. Maybe even a little bit of black. Let's put a little bit of black there as well. Just a little bit of texture, just like that. Just like as if there's little great, little tiny small stones and things like that. Let's get a small, I got a small brush here. Let's get back into some of this white and this yellow. Just going to use my stick. This is a mask stick just to rest in my hand. And yes, you can use this in virtual reality as well. Not in the same way, but... Let's get a little bit of orange. That looks more like pink to me. A bit of red then. A bit of yellow. That's because I put white in there, wasn't it? It doesn't matter. We all make mistakes. The thing about it is we should never worry. Should never panic, really. Put a little bit of white. Glow like that. Let's get some orange this time. Let's get some yellow. Don't ever forget, when you mix orange, you only want the smallest amount of red. Just get a little bit of red in the sky. And these type of floaty cloud shapes that you'll find. Not many drifting around. Quite a nice clear sky. That's like that. There we are. Let's get a little bit of yellow. Let's get a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. Yellow and white. Yellow. The white is going to make it a little bit more opaque. You can hear me drying my brush on my trousers, by the way. And just put a little bit of highlight just under these clouds. Don't want a lot, just an essence. Now, you've heard me say this many times before. You can do a much better job than me in the time that you've got, because there's no point rushing. Please don't rush your paintings. Enjoy the process and have fun, because you never know what you can accomplish until you just take your time and relax. There we go. So we got a few clouds floating around. We got a few speckles there as well. And what are we missing now? Then I tell you what we're missing. We are missing. I need a detail brush. I got all my brushes in order now, so it's quite easy for me to be able to find a detail brush when I want one. There we go. So I'll get some brown. A little bit of green in that brown. A little bit of black. Just like that. Put in the brush. Just twisting the brush until I got a little bit of a point. So what we need to do now, we need to put a very small cactus there. Again, twisting the brush like that so you get a nice little point. We're going to put another cactus just there like this. Put a little bit more black to it, so I just wanted a slightly darker. There we go. A little cactus. He's just bedding down into there. Just touch it with your finger. There we go. Put a bit of highlight on there in a second. I put another. There's another one just off there. See, you don't have to paint the whole thing sometimes. You can just paint maybe just something just off canvas. There we are. Why not have a bit of fun? Have a bit of fun with it. And we'll put an almighty cactus just like that. Just like that. You got a little buddy. There we go. All of a sudden we've got a desert scene, haven't we? All of a sudden. Just simple little things like that. Just simple little things. Just like that. We have a desert scene. So let's get some green. The hook is green, a little bit of white. Just to give these things just a little colour. because the light is catching it. So you're going to see that tinge of green on these. Where the light is catching. There we go. Wiping the brush on my trousers. Just blending that edge in. Just like that. Bit more green. And to be honest with you, there's always a little tiny catch light on the backs of these things, so there's always that little tiny reflection just down the edge like that. Never forget that. That's a very important reflection, that is. Sometimes just gives it that bit of a 3D effect. And then what we could do then, we could get our burnt umber and we could put some rocks like this. Let's put some rocks in. A bit of black here and there. I'm just giving you an idea. You can do whatever you want with this. So I'm just going to bed them in because there's going to be shadow coming off them. Just like that. And obviously we need to put a little bit of light. So we'll go into this little bit of orangey type of colour. Yeah, we do this bit of yellow, bit of let's get a bit of light just on the top of these, just like that. There you go. No, don't overpower with that, just enough to give it some sort of reflection. There, like that. And then we could get our scrippy liner brush, get some of that lovely green colour, and just put the odd bit of grass in. There we go. Get some of that darker green colour. Where's the green? Get some dark green colour. This is Hooker's green. Just put some blades of grass or bushes or something like that. There we go. If you wanted to, you could get I got one here somewhere. Let's go back into my drawer. I'm sure I got one here. Let's get a bit of burnt umber. I get a bit of white. And let's see if we can put one of them. There's one of them, I don't know what they call them things. They're like bushes, they're like dry dry bushes. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? What do they call them? Let me know what they call them. See them on the cowboy films. They're just blowing around and they just tumbleweed. Tumbleweed. That's what they call them. Like a tumbleweed. Whoosh. Like a tumbleweed. There we go. I knew I'd come up with the idea. There's a little bit of tumbleweed blowing around. There we go. A little bit of tumbleweed there. A bit of grass. There we go. You decide. You make it up. There we are. And I don't think the painting would be finished unless we put a nice eagle flying in the sky, or vulture, or whatever. And there you go. That's my attempt of a desert scene. Hope you enjoy. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't forget to have a look at my videos, my shorts, and also check me out on virtual reality. So I'll see you there. Bye.